But before that, at least one teen has reportedly been killed and 14 Palestinians wounded, one seriously so, in fierce clashes with Israeli soldiers across the West Bank. The Israeli army used tear gas, rubber bullets and live ammunition to disperse thousands of people staging protests against the military offensive in Gaza. Palestinian protesters threw stones and fireworks at the troops. The West Bank has seen skirmishes a number of times since the beginning of the month-long conflict. But this time, up to 10 towns, including Bethlehem and Ramallah, were involved. Harry Fear reports for RT from the heart of the disturbances.
Just behind me, Palestinian protesters are clashing with Israeli troops here in the occupied West Bank. Throughout the West Bank today, we've seen clashes between Israeli troops and Palestinian protesters, throwing stones at Israeli troops. Now, the Hamas movement throughout the occupied Palestinian territories called for a day of rage today, as on previous Fridays during this latest Israel-Gaza war. This is in the context of now more than a month's worth of fighting between Israel and Hamas, now the factions in Gaza. Well, earlier today, the operation by Israel resumed on Gaza as rocket fire from Gaza continued after the ceasefire efforts broke down. At least one Palestinian civilian has been killed already as this operation has resumed. A 10-year-old boy playing near a mosque in central Gaza, in Gaza City, was killed mortally wounded by a head injury as a result of Israeli strikes on a mosque. And this is now the beginning of what some Palestinians in Gaza are calling phase 2 of this most recent 2014 Gaza-Israel war.
Protests have become only one form of expressing anger against the Israeli offensive in Gaza. A string of incidents suggest an increase of anti-Semitism and attacks on Jewish communities across different parts of the world. RT's Marina Koshova takes a look.
We've seen the tragic images and the public outrage that followed. And now it appears that backlash is being directed at anyone who has any links to Israel or Judaism. In Sydney, Australia, 5 teenagers were arrested for allegedly screaming anti-Semitic abuse at a group of Jewish schoolchildren as young as 5. In the French city of Toulouse, police arrested a man for throwing firebombs at a local Jewish centre. In the Danish capital, Copenhagen, police had to disperse a pro-Israel rally, fearing for the safety of those taking part. In Italy, Rome's historic Jewish area has been transformed by anti-Semitic graffiti and flyers covering shops and walls. And even in Berlin, German protesters were seen bearing anti-Semitic banners and chanting hate slogans. Thousands of Brits show up at each pro-Palestinian rally, calling for an end to Israel's operation and demanding the British government stop selling weapons to them. Foreign Office Minister Baroness Vazi also quit, calling David Cameron's position on Gaza morally indefensible. Others vent their anger more destructively. According to the Metropolitan Police, anti-Semitic crimes have doubled in London over the past year, and these figures predate Israel's recent operation in Gaza. Unofficially, it appears there's been an even sharper rise since the conflict began, and Jewish communities living here in the capital and beyond are now warning everyone to take extra care. With over 300 anti-Semitic incidents recorded across the UK in the first half of the year, including 22 violent attacks, their concerns are understandable. While politicians scramble to find a peaceful way out of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, there are many other issues which will need resolving too, far away from Gaza. Marina Kostrova reporting from London for RT.